y'all know what it is. Eagles Way of Boxing, man. Y'all know what it is. You feel me? You see me? Eagle. What's up? Mm-hmm. 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 That's right, Eagles Way of Boxing. We back up in the place to be, man. In Eagles Place. We in Eagles Place right now. What's going on with y'all? Huh? Friday rap. Well, we just talk about it. I don't know exactly what it is, but we'll talk about it, baby. I don't know. It could be boxing. It might not. It could be anything. Even though it's Eagles Way of Boxing, this grown folks chat at the same. So we gonna see Eagles reaching around. I'm trying to put my pen on my clipboard because I got to go to work, man. I got to make sure that I got all my paperwork. Got to make sure everything is in the order that it needs to be in order for me to be my success story, because I'm my only success story. I don't have another story that can be my success. So we got to work. So that goes for everybody. You're your own success story. So even when you're failing, you're your own success story. Just come back. That's all you gotta do. Just come back. That's it. Just make a comeback, and that's all I can say about that. You know, and get yourself back on top. So just become your own success and get back on top. And just tell suckers to get behind you. Hey, get back. Tell them to hit the road. Hopefully we'll talk about it. Now, I'm sorry about Wednesday. Just got caught up, man, too much. I had to do too much for yesterday. Had to get ready. I'm not going to say, just like I told you guys earlier, you got to get ready for your own success, that you are your success story, yeah. So yesterday I can look at it as being, it was a success for me because I was always being me and I was always being real yesterday. And I ran into a couple of problems. Even, you know, family there's always problems, you know, natives, they had native problems. But one thing I don't tolerate, and that is if you are a person that wants to go to some type of authority, especially when it's versus me, because I welcome that confrontation or that conversation or whatever, however you want to look at it, is what's going to be welcome from me. I welcome that. So I welcome that, and I put out the welcome mat. So that's okay with me. Because the thing about me is I'm not going to waver one way or another. If I say something on a personal sense or on a personal level, if we're talking, if I say something, if it's correct, then I stand on the correctness of what it is. I'm not saying anything about somebody's history or something like that, because that's different. It could be correct or it might not be correct. And I can stand to be corrected. But if I'm talking about something and I know for it to be factual, I mean, for within the parameters of the conversation, you know, as far as like, you know, if we're talking about legalese or whatever you're talking about, if you're talking about something like, for instance, in a football game, if you're talking on a professional level, there's certain things that are allowed and not allowed. So if somebody says that was clearly holding, Sometimes the ref will miss it and they might not call it at all. But if you know it was clearly holding, then you're going to stand by it, regardless of what anybody says. Yeah, that's clearly holding. And if you showed it to somebody else, maybe you showed it to another authority and they say, oh, yeah, that's clearly holding. Now you got one person backing you up. Show it to somebody else, oh, that's clearly holding. Now you got 3 people. Now you got 4. Now you got 5 persons. And all the way up to however many, you might have 10 people versus that one that was wrong. Right? Then you have to understand. Or sometimes you got to be, like for me, I'm standing alone. That's what I do, brother. I'm standing alone. So if there's an issue with something that comes down the eagle, the eagle stands alone. Now, why is my another thing then? Hold on, just 1 second. I'm still here. Okay, I just had to make sure that this, like I'm looking at this, I got a cleaner like 4 feet away from me. I can almost touch it from here, right? It's supposed to clean the air, but it's like, it's new to me. I don't know how this new stuff works. So it says it has an A and Q on it, like AQ. So it's computerized. So it's acquiring, I guess it's getting the data. Like, is my air that bad to where you're saying you got to acquire some more information to see what I got in my air? No, I leave it on quite a bit. So a lot of things come up in boxing, and I'm not saying that any particular one or anything is actually true, because I don't know what to believe. Sorry, I just don't. I don't know what to believe. I don't know. Everybody's bragging on Gervonta Davis, and I keep hearing a lot of stories. You know, like I said, we're not gonna get too deep into the he and she say. You already know how we do it. We don't get like deep into it. We'll bring it up, but we're not gonna have a whole show. Like somebody, I'm like, I can't talk 3 hours about some if, ands, when, but I can't talk about this shit for 3 hours. You know, we can't. 2 or 3 hours, I can't talk about that. But what I can say is, if it's anything true about it, then just get yourself out of trouble. Yeah. And, you know, I'm even hearing about AB, you know. There's messages out there. AB this and that. And, of course, Robert Garcia, you know, for me, he's on the fence. He's like, you know, he's on the fence of, like I said, biasness. Well, not just bias, but being racist. I'm sorry. Because he always feels like one of his Mexican fighters is so much better than somebody else. And lately, they've been getting the brakes beat off of him. He's saying that if Ortiz is going to beat Ennis, then let him beat Ennis. Then let's go. Let's have it. Let's see that Ennis has to kill him to win or whatever. Let's see what actually has to happen, man. Nobody want to hear your mouth, man. Huh? You got beat up. You got beat into retirement. So shut your ass up. That's all I'm saying. You just settle your ass down. That's all I can say about it. Just settle down. Settle down. Don't get too excited about what a fighter can do, no matter what you feel. I don't know what any fighter can do, to be honest. The only thing that I know is that we got to see. That's all I know. Is we got to see. Let's see it. That's what we say. That's all. All I know is we got to see it. All the talking about who's better and this and that, we just got to see it. If you're hiding, or not just necessarily hiding, but if you're running off, if you're making other fights, when the most expected fight, the most promising fight, should be happening, then I got the problems with that. Yeah. But I don't want to. A lot of times, I just don't want to hear. I don't want to hear from any of these fighters, especially these welterweights. These welterweights can shut up. More or less all of them. Earl Spence, every last one of y'all can just shut up. All these divisions can shut up if you're not fighting nobody. Yeah, Benavidez, you're looking at Plant and you're thinking that it's going to be an easy victim, easy knockout. It can be. But guess what? We have to see it. That's our point, is that we got to see what you can do. You can always say what you can do or what needs to be done. We can always say that. But we don't know. I know a lot of y'all out there probably, I put in the title, Black Friday. Kind of like Black Friday, right? Yeah, so you guys have fun out there. Take it easy. Like I said, just take it easy out there. If you're out there in the world and you're out there doing all your holiday type of things, I know you guys got to get those Christmas gifts in early. I mean, that's what you guys are feeling. Like, let me get this Christmas gifts in early. If that's what you're looking at. Yeah. So, let's see it. Let's see. Let's see the sales what Macy's got for you. Let's see what was it Neiman Marcus got for you. Let's see what, I don't know. I don't even know all the stores anymore, because I shop my own brand. What I do? I shop my own brand, and then mostly I just shop for essential clothing. And yes, I shop for my brand. Yes, it was something that's on an extreme sale, like some some slacks or something like that, or some trousers, pants or something like that. Then I either do my own brand or I'm just gonna try to go get some essentials. That's it. I'm not looking for all kinds of stuff. I'm not looking for the. Yes, I got a closet full of the Versace, Gucci, and all that crap. I got a closet full of that crap. I don't buy it. Very often, I'll say very often, because it's like sometimes it might be a sale or something, or just something that I'm like, these are nice. I don't necessarily like, supporting your brand, but I don't make them. So if I don't make them, then, a lot of stuff I don't make, but for the most part, I got sweats, which is good. I don't have a jeans yet. I got to find me a jean manufacturer. That would be nice. I got caps and hats. I have sweatshirts and shirts and t-shirts and sneakers and clocks and chargers and blankets and drapery and rugs and tapestries and paintings and all that. I have all that stuff. So that covers almost everything. Things for the kitchen, things for the bathroom. So what else you need? Things for the bedroom. Things for your sitting room and all that. I got all that type of stuff. So what else do I need? Why do I even need to shop with somebody else? It's like, that's crazy. Why am I, man, I'm not spending my money on you, on your brand, when I got my own brand. That don't even make sense. I got my own brand, so I'll buy my brand. Why I need to be Mikey's or Nike's or Psyche's when I got my own? When I got Eagles. So I got Eagles, so yeah. Well, I got to go to work in a bit, not right now, but I have to go soon. So I'm just gonna let this broadcast or this stream go for a little bit, and then after that, then I'll probably be out. I'll probably just leave, because I'm not gonna stay on, because I like to with my stream, I like to have interaction. If I don't have interaction, there's no need of me having a stream. Simple as that. And that's all it is to it. That is it. Yep. Yeah. I like looking back at not just basketball. I mean, not just boxing, but basketball, football. I like to see a lot of analysts, what people say, and I'm starting to draw the conclusion myself that it's hard to have any top discussion when it comes to top fighters, top players. It's hard to actually determine, like the whole thing. Let's just jump on the basketball real quick. The whole idea of who was the GOAT in basketball. There was only one GOAT in basketball, and that was Wilt Chamberlain. I don't care. I mean, you can have any kind of discussion that you want to have, because I guarantee he led the league before they even decided to do all the stats on blocks and stuff like that. Come on, blocks, assists. I think he led the league in assists one year, in rebounds, assists, points, blocks. Come on, and what else is there left? He even got steals. But I'm saying, what else is actually left? So you talking about GOAT? Maybe not scored the most points of all time, but come on. How could you still hold records like that? And then, how could you hold records that just don't fall and not be considered the best? Okay, they're gonna talk about errors and the way that they played. Well, even when it comes to basketball, there was a way that you had to play. You understand? There was a way that you had to play. It's not because you couldn't play a different way. It's just that you, everybody, it's more or less like a league or a group wide. What are you getting away with in this game? There's certain people that you play against. Like if you're real athletic, there's no dunking. You're not dunking. I don't care how athletic you are. There's no dunks in this game. If somebody says that there's no dunks in this game, then you know you got to pull out a whole different skill set, because they'll tell you there's no dunks in this game. You're not embarrassing nobody, or you're not, overpowering. They're letting you know that you're not strong. You might jump higher, but there's no dunking in this game. You try to dunk, you're going to end up on your back with a busted head. So there's no dunking. Simple as that. And that's all it is to it. If people are athletic enough to tell you, hey, there's no layups in this game, then there probably won't be no layups in there. You could force it and try, but there's no layups. Same thing with football. There's no, if the skill set is such, a person would tell you that there's no, for instance, if there's no catching the ball at, past 20 yards. If he's that good defensively, then guess what? There's no catching the ball after 20 yards. In other words, I'm letting you have stuff short to medium. There's no long ball being played at this time. Simple as that. You used to have athletes. I don't even know. This ain't even the right discussion. I'll talk about that later. But I'll talk about like for instance, Satchel Paige. Like Satchel Paige is a pitcher, and he's playing what they call the Negro League. Sometimes Satch, he would send the whole outfield to the bench. Like, go on in there, go on the dugout, just sit your ass down, and just pitch to people and strike their ass out. Right when he was on. So in other words, he was letting you know there's no hitting while I'm out here by myself. Every once in a while somebody would hit on him, but most time if he said there's no hitting, then there's no hitting. It was for entertainment value. So sports have always been, for us, it has been also sports, but also entertainment. They never took a lot of stuff serious. And I will get into the discussion one of these days, because I'm just, like I said, I open up a little bit at a time. And I will allow people to say certain stuff a little bit at a time. That we'll go through this, like a little bit. We'll go a little bit by a little bit. But some of the fighters that you call great didn't even want to fight. They don't consider themselves as fighters. You understand? They don't consider. They'll tell you they was better at something else. Right? People don't know that. People think Jackie Robinson was so athletic. Yeah, he was saying that his brother was more athletic than him. You see? Just to let you know. But we'll talk about the other part of that at a later date. I don't know if I should, because I want to actually, when I talk about it, I want to have a two-sided, at least I want to have a discussion about it. You know what I mean? I want to have a discussion about the, about the athleticism of past athletes and stuff like that. It's just like, see, because a lot of people, you feel like these eras are greater and better now, but I tell you, you got even old fighters, you got people still around and people still alive, like even Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes will tell you that these boxers would not have lasted in his era. He'll tell him. He'll tell you straight up. He said, Ken Norton's too strong, George Foreman's too strong, too powerful of a punch, and you coming straight at him, he said, you're going to get killed. He would tell you like straight up, and people will still get mad. Oh, he just old and hating. No, he's not hating. He's not going to show disrespect. What he's showing is he's showing honor upon in his colleagues, and he's showing honor upon himself. He's just saying that you couldn't, and that's how a grown man talks when it comes to talking to people that are of the lower echelon. In other words, we have stair steps to get to the top. You don't come in, and if you do come in, there's something wrong. If you come in as a king, you're coming in as a title of king because you don't know anything at that point. You have to walk upstairs, even if you got an elevator. You have to ascend to get to the top, regardless. Even if you come in on top, you still got to ascend to get to the top. Well, some of you don't understand that, but you still have to ascend to get to the top. And you have people that come in as a lower class or a lower level. They're really the king, but they have to follow the steps to become king. And a lot of times when you take that crown as being king, people they don't love it, or they don't like it. They don't like the fact that you're king right now. Oh, you're king. They don't like it. They get so mad and angry because they want to project and they want somebody else to be the king. They don't want you to be the king. You follow? I knew that you would. Because that's the way I presented it to you for you to follow. No, I kid. Jan. Eagle had too much sleep, y'all. Or too much rest, man. I was in the bed. I'm gonna be honest. I was in and out of the bed. Like I was in the bed, but I got up a little bit. But I got in the bed. Let's say, for instance, like 9 o'clock. No. Before 9. Since I've been up for a couple of days, so to be honest, I'm gonna say like 5 o'clock. At least. I was at least in bed by 5 o'clock. I just don't want to say before that because then I'll really get tired then. Like, oh wow, I got that much sleep. Yeah, so let's say 5. And then I got back up at 8, messing around, played some video games, and then I went back to sleep again. And then probably I got up at 6. So that's a long, long time, brother. That's a long time to be knocked out. But then I still didn't get up because I played video games again, messing around. And I laid back down. Matter of fact, I even started getting tired. I was like, oh shit, I need some more sleep. And I almost went and got some more sleep. But I just rested. I was like, I can't. And then I did. I fell out a little bit. But then I realized once I start having nightmares, it's time to get up. When I have nightmares, that means I slept or overslept. Nightmares just remind me, get your ass up. Even my dreams know when I should be up. My dreams tell me, get your ass up. And yes, if you stay in bed, you're going to have nightmares. And that's what my body does. It's just like, you're going to have nightmares just for staying in bed because you got no business being in bed. Yeah. And that's exactly what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just hearing this. I don't know if this is true or not. But it says mass shooting attempt in Florida in the boxing gym. Wow. It says an attempt. So I'm hoping that that's all it was, is just an attempt. And I hope nobody got injured. not even the gunman or gunman, woman, or whatever it is. Hopefully, they got help rather than to, get injured or hurt or anything like that. So we'll see. Yeah. I'm not a researcher, so I don't really. I mean, when it comes to researching things that happen, so if it's some weird shit, I'm not. I'm just not into. Like, I'm not gonna try to dig into. Oh, let me see about this. I'm not that. A lot of everybody, not a lot of people, and I almost said everybody, but a lot of people now are what you call. There used to be a title called investigative reporters, right? But now everybody seems to be investigative type reporters, man. I mean, they want to know every single thing, man. They want to know too much. You know what I mean? They want to know absolutely too much, like way too much. And you don't need all that information. Me, every once in a while, I would get into some personal things. It all depends. Like if some crazy stuff happened, to where I get excited. Like what you saying? Like we get. If you turn something into like an argument or something like that, or we got a little bit of beef over nothing, then hey, then I may delve into that's why you're an alcoholic. I'd rather hit you with a one-liner though than to be arguing with you. When last time you was drinking? I might say anything, but for the most part, I just like to stay on what's happening right now. I don't want to go back. The times that we go back in here is we'll go back to what somebody said. Like for instance, Pacquiao. Pacquiao was acting like he won Earl Spence next. He never fought Earl Spence, but then they finally got a fight signed, and then Earl Spence had to detach retina. But he should have had a fight with him before that. Just like the Manny Pacquiao Mayweather. I'm just staying on Pac. It's just a lot of times that we hear stuff and we don't never get it. I don't know how long ago this was, but I guess Riddick Bowe finally, him and Lennox Lewis finally squashed their beef or whatever. So it took so many years though. But I seen it live on air. When Riddick Bowe was saying that, that Lennox Lewis had lied on him and stuff. I don't know what that's about. At least I just can't recall it right now. I just can't recall what the whole argument was of why he said that he thought we was friends, thought you was my brother and something like that. But anytime something happens like that, I just want to say, anytime something happens like that, there's an issue underlying that a lot of the public that we just don't know. It could have been something that was said just in public, but a lot of times, what you guys don't understand, or what's hard to realize, is that athletes, even if you consider them like competition with each other, a lot of athletes know each other. Just think about it. If you don't think about it, you'll never get it. But athletes know each other because athletes knew each other because there's certain circuits. There's boxing circuits that they don't even tell you about. Right? They got all kinds of competition for boxers and everything. They got tough men that you ain't supposed to be in as an amateur. They got all kinds of stuff. Tough men, smokers. They got all kinds of tournaments and all kinds of stuff everywhere, right? And of course, you run into somebody, you be like, "Oh man, what you doing over here, man? You trying to get one of these little phony little titles, huh? Yeah, I know what you up to." See, and so fighters and they know each other everywhere. They've been knowing each other. They follow each other. It's amateurs, it no matter if they silver gloves champion, silver golden gloves, or whatever champ you might be, a regional champion or something like that, golden glove champion, whatever. AAU. That was the whole thing back in the day, that Everybody had to have their AAU card and all that. That's the first thing you be happy about. Oh, I got my AAU card. Yeah. So that's one of the first things. But then you start seeing people. You start knowing people. People know you. Believe me, people know you. It's just like what I do now. You know, what I do now when I go to certain events and stuff. So when I go to events, like when I go to the different ceremonies and stuff, people know me. They be hollering, Eagle. Because they know Eagle. Yeah. They got me in, like I said, I won't do this again. I would not let newspapers and magazines take pictures of me without having the right to, you know, a percentage of any monies that they get, you know, from any rendition of my likeness anywhere. I won't do that. You know, which I don't understand how some of these people can get people to take their likenesses down or whatever. If it's a publishing company or whatever, they get your picture, they got your picture. I don't know. Maybe it's still something I can do. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I went back. Yeah. And I checked out some things and like a fight. And I went back and looked at a couple of fights. I went back to just to look back in the archives, and I forgot all about this though. Like one of the fights, like the Tyson. I looked at Holyfield in 2 fights against Tony. He just looked awful. He wasn't ready for Tony's style. He couldn't do what he wanted to with Tony. And with Tyson, I used to think Tyson had like a granite chin, but Holyfield really, I mean, he got a little bit chinny afterwards, but Holyfield, he didn't have the greatest chin, but at one time when he fought Tyson, he just had he had an iron jaw himself, man. He walked into an uppercut one time. Tyson uppercut, body shot at him, uppercut him. Holyfield whole head went back. Like, God dang. But then Holyfield makes a comeback, and Mike Tyson just runs right into a shot. That's what got Mike in trouble with Holyfield. His own hate is what I could say. He was so mad. That's like, oh, I'm gonna get this. He was so mad that he just came in and he got clipped. And that was sad. And that was the downfall. I had a friend that was going straight for Holyfield. Oh, yeah, Holyfield, you know. Because he didn't like anybody who talked. If you was talk, because he even liked Michael Grant. I'm like, well, just because you humble don't mean you ain't going to get your ass whooped. So, yeah. So, that point there, that part, that don't mean you ain't going to get whooped. But if Broner's coming in all slow, and I can see that. I can see Broner coming in fat, slow, missing weight, or anything. I can see him getting beat up pretty bad, no matter who he fight. The whole Tank versus Ryan we talked about before. So the whole Tank versus Ryan, it's like, we can go with Tank, or we can go with Ryan. Either one. It depends. If Tank do jail time, I don't know. Maybe he'll start slipping. I don't know. Just do not know. With you fighters, just talking so much about what you're going to do and this and that. I don't know. We're always being, I speak for myself, but I also speak for my people that come in here, that we are about that. Let's see it. Let's see. We ain't going to just keep talking about it. Let's see. Yeah, let's just see. And for one thing, I'm not excited about, like a lot of people get excited about Tank Davis's power and all that. I do not get excited about that. Not getting excited about nobody's speed. I'm not getting excited about nobody's power. Because it's going to be styles make a fight or styles make no fight. Okay, so let's dig into just that part of it just for a second. So it's not always the style. When you're going to holler, oh, it's the style. No. Part of your style is your mental makeup that people leave out. It's your ability to war, W-A-R, through about to get the W, to get the win. So that's what it's about. It's about you warring through, like I'm going to war up. I'm getting through this. I'm going to get through this the way that I get through it. And the way I'm doing that is I'm warring up. As simple as that. And that's what he did. He just wore it up, and that's what you know, and you gotta get through it. So, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see how all this stuff. Everything has to play out, you know. So we start getting the truth. We start getting the truth about Haney, that Haney does have a little bit of crack. And I told y'all Haney was getting more powerful. I told you guys that Haney starts sitting down. Like if Haney needs to sit down with you, he gonna crack you. Simple as that. You gonna hit him hard, he gonna hit you hard. He actually has an unfair advantage over a lot of people. He's kind of fast. He fights you from long range. So it's just, it's what it is. And, you know, it's just going to surprise people. You know, people going to end up losing, and that's all it is to it. Oh, you think, oh, he's chinny, he's going to get knocked out or nothing like that. No, Combosas will tell you that he's not as chinny as people think he is. Because I called him. If you've never got caught in 20 plus fights and you finally get caught, of course you're going to look like you chinny. You go down. There's been a lot of fighters that went down early in their career. But then a lot of people didn't put him down. Joe Frazier went down early in his career. But a lot of big punchers and stuff, big people couldn't put him down. But with Joe Frazier, we actually missed a lot of fights. We did not miss as many fights with Ali as we missed with Frazier, if y'all think about it. Because we missed Frazier. I mean, even with Ellis, Frazier had a hard time, right? To get past Ellis, but we never seen Frazier versus Norton, right? We never seen Frazier versus Holmes. We never seen Frazier versus Lyles, I don't think, or Frazier versus Shavers. I'm just saying. So when you knock, Ali fought everybody. There's no heavyweight in history. I don't care, y'all. If you want to debate and argue with me. They fought tougher competition than Muhammad Ali. There's none. You name fighters before him that would have beat everybody that he beat. And I don't care that Rocky Marciano went undefeated. He would not have beat all the same people that Ali fought. He wouldn't even have fought Sonny Liston. I'm telling you that now. He wouldn't have fought Sonny Liston. He wouldn't have beat Sonny Liston. He wouldn't have beat Foreman. A lot of people he wouldn't have beat. There's more than 5, 6, 7 people that he wouldn't have beat. There's a lot of people that he would not have beat. Matter of fact, he would have had a hard time catching up with somebody like Foster, who wasn't even full-fledged heavyweight. Norton, he would have had trouble with. I give even Norton. Would have gave Norton the edge on that, on beating him too. Some of these fighters weren't quite as skilled, but he wouldn't have beat them all. He wouldn't have beat all of them. He wouldn't have beat Holmes. A lot of people he wouldn't have beat. What you gonna say? That's neither here nor there. But whatever, however you want to call it. It's just that's my mind is, you know, just kind of speculating that these things would have manifested a lot differently. But Joe Frazier didn't fight a lot of people. And he's still one of the greatest, but he never fought all the fighters that he had. A lot more fighters available to him to fight. Ali was was padding those pockets though, right? Anyway, yeah. This is what was my second loneliest show during, I think, holidays or just any time, where none of my guys and girls in blue came by to see how I was doing, or at least they was busy doing something else because of the holiday. But at least I got 1 or 2 thumbs up. So that's all we can go with. Anyway, we'll talk about it a little bit later. My shout out to all the real people that I see, and my shout out to all y'all that mess with me. Yeah, Egan gonna close it down early on this one. I'm gonna catch y'all. Oh, Shaqua.